Hey, welcome back to Create Arcane Engineering, where in the last video, we set up this complex contraption to automatically make kinetic mechanisms. Although, as the comment section pointed out, there are a multitude of problems with this, and a couple that I've noticed on my own. The main one that I recognized at the end of the last video is that this farm just does not work in any capacity, so I'm not getting any mineral. But that doesn't matter, because despite having many mineral slabs, nothing's being done. I don't know why. I've got crystallized mineral, I've got andesite, it's in the mixer with power. It's just not making anything. And I have no idea why. But maybe I can figure something out by the end of this video, I don't know. Because this video, first and foremost, I need to fix this. I would have done it last time, but as I said, I just completely ran out of time. But I doubt it'll take too long to fix this, so maybe I can explore some of these new quests. Because, to my knowledge, I've already done all of this. I don't know. I can find stuff to do. So, I guess I just get into this. And I may as well start by fixing this. In the most obvious way, I'm going to have to turn this off, so all of this is going to stop for a bit. But the first problem is I completely forgot how portable storage interfaces work. Not only do they have to be a block apart like that for them to actually connect, they don't just directly deposit into an inventory. You have to take out of them with a funnel or a chute or cables if you have that. So I'm going to fix both of those problems in probably the one solution. And for that, I need to crush a bit more iron to make a chute. And then I'll put the chute there with the storage interface on top. And then over here, I guess just put it at the same height like that. And I guess to test if this works, there are some mineral logs in here. So if those get sent through, then mission accomplished. Let's get this spinning. And yes. Oh, and that's very fast. But I only did one stack. Interesting. I don't think I need it doing more than that right now. In fact, I might just want to take some of these logs. But then the next big problem that I did bring up last time is that I just straight up don't get saplings out of this. Technically I can, but they are extremely rare, and I mostly will get shrubs. And the shrubs need to be washed into rejuvenated shrubs, and then mixed with mineral berries to make the actual saplings, and somehow then put back in, which maybe I can do? I'm not sure. Well, first of all, I at least need to get more of these storage interfaces, and then I'll make myself an output bit here to hopefully take the rest of this. Actually, I need to filter it to not take mineral logs, but I at least need the berries and the shrubs. I may as well take the sticks so it doesn't get full. So I'll just make myself a 2x2 drawer. Ooh, but is this storage interface going to recognize that? Or is it just going to take whatever? Are chutes smart enough to know when it can and can't put an item in? Okay, experiment. Obviously, if I put some oak planks in there, it's going to be fine. But if I put something that isn't oak planks, yep, it gets stuck in the chute. I thought that would happen. And I doubt it'd be much different with the storage interface. And I don't know if I can filter it until I get a smart chute. So, if I can't choose how it outputs, I'm going to have to do it all with the one output. But I've got a little bit of a problem in that I don't have another slot for sticks. I'm not sure what to do about that then. So otherwise it's just going to get stuck. Ooh, one idea. I noticed this on my own. I can get a singular brass funnel as a quest reward. So maybe I put a funnel on the chute that just drops sticks on the floor. I really can't think of a better option. So then if I put everything back in here, set this going again, it'll connect, put all the items in, and then drop the sticks on the floor. Good. That is exactly what I needed it to do. I might just put it on this side though, so I have space in this direction. Okay, so I've now got items off of here. I guess then the question is, how do I separate specific blocks? I might need more brass funnels, because now yeah, I can already see it's not... Oh god, it's not exclusively doing the logs here. So then this likely isn't a solution. I really wasn't expecting this to be the hard part. So then I'll go back to the one drawer there. And then obviously I can't bring the items in from there. Ooh, I think I have an idea. I'm not sure how disjointed the storage interface is allowed to be. Worst case scenario, I have to shift it over to like here and deal with it. But if I was to just put it there, could it still connect? I don't know, let's see. It does! Okay. It can probably be more disjointed than that, but this is all I should need. Because now, with a funnel there, it should immediately pick up any logs that get dropped. And then I can just move anything else along here, and have various other drawers along the way locked with their own filters. That'd work. I just need to double check that that belt is actually going in the right direction, and it's not. I guess another gearbox is in order. Ooh, but no. I guess a gear shift instead. But... oh, right. A funnel on a belt imports and extracts relative to the belt itself. At least when it's at the edge of a belt like that. I'm not sure if I have a way to disjoint this further. Maybe I can put this there. Does it still connect? No. Okay then. I'm just gonna have to move this a little bit higher so that then when I put the chute on, I can afford... oh, I can have it move over like that. And hopefully it drops the items down on that block. Yes. So then when I connect it like that, now it's perpendicular to the belt, and I can do that. So now only logs go in, hopefully. And then on this side, out of the way, I can have everything else. So then quick test, if I put a bunch of everything in there, so it drops all the items, and quite a lot of them at that. The logs get picked up by the log drawer, the saplings go all the way to the sapling drawer. Oh yeah, and the sticks, mineral, and berries got collected as well. Good. Okay, I thought that was gonna be a quick fix. No. So now, I need to wash these shrubs, and mix them with the berries, and put them back in the system. And that shouldn't be too bad, but I don't know, simply collecting the items turned out to be more of a hassle than I thought, so I don't know. So I just need a mixer and a fan, a bit of water, and then something to hold the water in with, but I'm not sure what. I can probably just go for the slabs and a sign again. And I think I have an idea in mind for how I get this to work. So I need 2 separate belts here. One to extract the shrubs and one to extract the mineral. But if I do it underneath like this, it doesn't stop. So then I'll do it like that. Oh, but then... I guess it doesn't matter if I'm washing the berries. Because to my knowledge, it doesn't do anything. So then yeah, I just have the water there. That shouldn't be a problem. And both of these need to go into the same basin to be mixed together. Right. But now I'm remembering I need to make the belt in front of the fan really slow so that it actually has time to work. But I guess it doesn't matter if the berries are slow. But I do need a lot more berries than saplings. But I guess given time, it'll probably level out. Yeah, I think this will be fine. Ooh, but then I need to bring the items up. But I think, yeah, I can go upwards with the chute. I just need a fan. But it's not like that's super expensive or anything. And does it tell me how I put the items in? Yeah, just with a funnel. But just thinking about the space I've got here, I might need to do some finicky stuff. I'm gonna put the fan there with the chutes on top. I think, yeah, I'll make them visible. It needs to go 4 high, yeah. And I don't know if it can go straight into the storage interface or not. Maybe. That is a viable spot for it. From there, I'll take items out of the basin, out of the mixer like that, and just put them straight in, do another floor drop. It'll be fine. Worst case scenario, I get full of saplings and I start wasting them. At which point, I'm full on saplings, I don't care. So now I just need to power all of this. And that's a lot easier said than done. God, every time I come down here, it feels like more and more of a mess. I think the easiest thing here is connecting the two fans, because that's as simple as just bringing the cables over, or the shafts, and coincidentally, it's blowing in the right direction, so I don't have to worry about that. Although I think that's going to change, because I'm going to have to throw another gearbox in there to power this fan, which, yes, is pushing in the right direction. I'll just shove another gearbox in there to compensate for the other fan. Okay. As for the mixer, I guess I can steal power from here, and then I can cable over to here to power the mixer. It does get in the way of the spinner, but this whole thing is an entity, so it doesn't care. Right, I have just inverted this again, so I need another gearbox. Right, that's all the machines. I just need the belts, although the belts are connected on the slower speed, and that one comes out all the way over here. But I think I can barely manage to bring this over. Oh, and of course it's reversed. I'll just throw a gearbox in wherever. Right, that's already got this moving. And ideally, the shrub, yes, it is revitalized with a lot more room to spare than the gravel had. Okay, so hopefully the berries and the saplings combine. Do they both enter the mixer? No, because they're immediately being output. Can I do... No. It's not gonna let me output that way unless there was a belt down there or something. But let's just... Okay. It does work, and it makes the sapling. And you know what? This is where the brass funnel comes in. I have exactly one of them. And I can send in the mineral saplings. It goes through there. And does it get sent back in? No. Huh. I'm just going to replace this with a chest for now. To see what difference that makes. If I send through the sapling again. Yeah, it looks like it does put it in. But slowly. Do I want to speed up the fan then? I've been corrected since last time about how the fans work. So in this instance, where I'm massively speeding up the fan, it doesn't actually do anything. In this instance, it makes it push further. So, yeah, it's irrelevant. It doesn't actually cook any faster. Same goes for the washing. If I speed this up, it'll push further, but it won't actually rejuvenate faster. And I'm guessing similar logic for the chutes, where the more speed going into this, the further it pushes. But does it push quicker? In this instance, it feels like it makes sense. But I don't know. And the ponder is broken on the portable storage interface, so I can't even reference that. Google it is then. According to Google, chutes do work to input, so do funnels. So then maybe I try a bit of a dumber solution. Instead of pushing straight in, I'll put the interface off to the side, and then put a funnel input. Because then, to my knowledge, yeah, the items sit on top, and yes, they do go in, and they get placed. It works. So, there's one more thing that I want to do to make this just a little bit better. I don't know if it's a problem I brought up last time or not, but it'll fix these saplings to be marginally more efficient. Because if they're placed in a line like that, they probably will still grow, but they might destroy each other. And also, it's really inefficient to be placing them like that, irrespective of what tree you're going, especially when you don't have many saplings. So if I can determine where the saplings get placed, I can place them a lot more efficiently. And I was told about something I could do with schematics, but I really don't know how schematics work. And there's a much simpler solution to that. See, it only places saplings on dirt. But if there's no dirt there, it doesn't place a sapling. I'd rather not have a gap. I could replace it with something like cobblestone, but maybe I could just use a path block. I'm just going to mark out the area that the saws can actually reach, and then place the saplings in these bits. Assuming the deployer can even reach that, which it might be able to. Does that give it a 5x5? Yes. The only block it should be checking against is the windmill bearing itself. Except this one might not grow because the cogwheel, but I think it's just barely out of range. So yeah, this should be fine. So then if I give it saplings, it placed one of them. Oh, but I think it might have just run out of saplings. Ooh, that could be a problem. I don't want this extracting mineral saplings, because that would break things. I guess I'm not super far away from a smart chute, and at that point I could just put a filter. I think, yeah. Create filters are pretty easy. And maybe I could re-engineer this a little bit so that I can move around my one brass funnel, so that I get the filter now, but I'm not really bothered to fix this. So I think I might just leave it at that. I might be able to reverse this so that it places 3 of the saplings. You know what, actually, I'm going to move the deployer to the middle. That feels slightly more reliable, although I can't really just put the mineral saplings back because they're just gonna get stuck in the system again. So until I can get that brass filter, this is still gonna be manual. But anyway, this should be all the infrastructure finished. I just need to solve this problem that the basin isn't mixing. Why? Does it not like... Oh, what? It doesn't like outputting onto the weighted ejector? What? What if I do a funnel instead? Now it's putting the mineral. And I'm gonna want to grab my one brass filter again. I really don't know why this doesn't work. Whether it's specifically because of the weighted ejector, or if it's just the basin is a bit weird. What if I set the recipe filter? No. Maybe it's because I set this to do 2. Maybe if I did it to 4? No. Although, every time I do right-click... Oh! That time it worked. Now it's just working. And now it's not. Maybe it's a problem that there's too much stuff? If there's only 4 in there, it works. Okay. So that was the problem. I was giving it too much. Cool. Oh, but... now I have a cool new problem. Why does this have mineral? I need to complete these kinetic mechanisms. And I was hoping that if 4 andesite alloy goes through, this'll take 1 and then this'll take 1. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So then if I could get this one to accept before this one, then I don't have to worry about creating the incomplete mechanisms. And I think all I'd need to do for that is tell the weighted ejector to throw to there, assuming it can? Yes. And then if I set this going again, it does send across, and it prioritizes this deployer. That one's got a shaft in it. Great, it's been broken again! This is such a volatile system until I can get filters. But as long as I can keep this clean, it should work to make kinetic mechanisms. When the trees grow, it creates the wood goes in the portable storage interface, turns into slabs, gets sent through this machine, along with the mineral resin here, combined with the andesite to fill up the deployers, to complete the recipe to make the kinetic mechanisms. Right, I feel a lot more comfortable in calling this complete. And it only took me another 2 hours. I'm glad I didn't try to stretch this last time. I guess I can quickly do a bit of cleanup around here. I don't need to show off all of my jank as if I'm proud of it. And anything already underground, I'll just leave it be. Okay, this is likely the most complicated thing I've ever made with Create. And I'm willing to bet it's the simplest thing that I'm gonna need to make. But before I move on to that, I want to finish off this sub-chapter, because I doubt it's gonna be a big deal. Resin might be the hardest thing here, but that's as simple as putting an arboreal extractor on a tree and waiting for quite a long time. So I guess I'll get back to that. In the meantime, I can just grab all of that stuff. Copper sheets, or not, a tick box, pumps and pipes, an arboreal extractor, and a spout. All of that I've already done before, so I don't really care. Similar with all of this, I've got rubber, cured rubber, belts, and I can make a sealed mechanism pretty easily. But I'm just going to have to wait on a resin bucket before I can trigger all of that. So I'm curious about this. Aha! I need a mineral sapling and an arboreal extractor to extract mineral resin, something I'm already doing, and then mineral enriched rubber. This is just rubber that's twice as efficient. And that needs a spout with mineral resin. Okay, I'll just steal this spout again. Then I'll get myself another arboreal extractor and a pump. And then, I guess I'll set it up here. Then I'll just stick the spout there, straight onto the depot. And if it's here, I may as well steal some extra power from the windmill. So there. That should power this, putting the mineral resin in the spout, and letting me get the mineral enriched rubber. It does need a lot of mineral resin though, so I'm either going to have to let this build up quite a lot, or it's just going to be really slow. But there we go, mineral enriched rubber. I'm actually just I'm gonna disconnect that for a bit, and wait until I get a bucket in the arboreal extractor, for the sake of the quest. Well, speaking of buckets, how's this one coming along? Nearly there. But once I do have that bucket's worth, that completes every other quest. And I think... No, there's one more quest here. I need to look at a blaze. So, technically the first tech chapter's not done, but come on. So, now I can move on to chapter 2. But I think I'm gonna save this for next time. There's a lot of good things here. Precision mechanisms, electron tubes, mechanical crafters, crushing wheels. Redstone actually has any use at all. Acid melter. Yeah, this will be really good. Ooh. Extra chapter? Where? I don't know. I guess it's done. Well, I still feel like I have a bit of time left in this video, and so you know what? I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go to the Nether and see if I can't find some materials to upgrade my tools. Annoyingly, I'm in a bunch of these weird biomes. I've got no idea what I'll find in them. But I'm hoping I can find some quartz, maybe a fortress, so I can look at a blaze. But mostly, I want to find cobalt. And it's at a pretty specific Y level. Ooh, and... no, Ardite doesn't exist. That's an old Tinker's thing. How do I get Manulin? Debris. Ah. An ancient debris is still found more or less the same way. But with cobalt, I can make the Tinker's armor, and I can still upgrade my tools a little bit. I don't know why I had to spawn next to the gross biome. This place sucks. In fact, I haven't seen a single good nether biome from any mod. They're always annoying to deal with, yet they keep getting added to packs. I'm looking at you, NetherX. You destroyed so many mod packs. You know, instead of exploring around on the surface, I'm at about Y30. I'm just gonna go mining. Ah, here we go. Cobalt. Really? Only the one? Okay. And my pickaxe broke. And there goes the hammer too. I found a decent amount of quartz here, but still no more cobalt. Something tells me I'm looking for it wrong. But there's not really much I can do about it right now, so I'm just gonna have to go back to the overworld. Okay, well, that was a bust. I didn't even find a fortress for a blaze. But I guess I can do that in my own time. And I might hold off on the nether for a bit, because it really sucks to navigate if you don't have flight. But maybe I can do something about that. Create has jetpacks? They're not that far off, actually. Maybe I wait until I've got a jetpack before I try doing nether stuff. Well, either way, it doesn't change what we managed to get done here, and I'm pretty happy with what I've managed to get done. We've fixed this up so that it actually works. It's still technically manual, because I haven't got the filter yet to stop it from wasting the saplings, but for all intents and purposes, this works. And actually, I have such a backlog of mineral that I don't think it's even going to be a problem. I'm mostly waiting on the mineral resin at this point, so it might be worth speeding that up a bit. I don't know. Maybe I can somehow put this crystallized mineral in here? Whatever it is, at this point, I can probably do it myself, because there's no other logistical difficulties to manage. And also, it's already made enough kinetic mechanisms for me to move on, so I don't think I really care. I guess before I go, I may as well collect all of these rewards. I've got another configuration tool, 32 sealed mechanisms, 8 copper casings, and 4 mineral enriched rubbers. That's pretty helpful. And then 3 more loot crates. I really should find a way to get fortune on these soon. I am right next to a village. I don't know. I'll worry about that some other time. For now, I think I'm pretty much done. I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm gonna call the video here. Bye.